guys are going to donate, try to donate Mystic Coins now because my bag is full and it's going to be full for a long time. I'm going to get a little screwed over. So first matchup is going to be Reba Boa and Alex versus me and Koto. I'm seeing if Koto's in here. Where is he, Koto? Koto, I don't know if you're in the Twitch chat, but you're entering up. And as I mentioned, guys, this is going to get a little hectic at first, so just bear with me. Let's take another look at the brackets over here. It's Alex and Rev, Koto and Mike, Goran and Dabs and Zaki and Hannibal are next. Master and Afton versus Bow User and Control Freak. Shibby and Krabbin versus Sergeant and Lighter. Onlil and Duchess versus Shiro and EMF. Laura and Luxlayer versus Timothy and Joker. Nano's team versus Naru and Lycar. Sizik and Kangaroo versus Joker and Timothy. So I'm using the first round as my roster check, guys. So you're just going to have to be a little patient with me. I'm not sure if everybody's here, so we're just going to go with the flow here. There's Koto. He's with me already. So we're going to get the first match underway. A little tidbits to a little bit. So just mute me through right here. And I'm not going to be able to run. This is a best of 3 series. The class you start with is the class you finish with. There's no class stacking. And as well, there's no Condi Mirage. And there's a map mechanic after 2 minutes. So let's see who we have here. It's Alex. Ooh, it's a very similar comp. I think Alex runs with a different type of core build. He's not full damage. So it looks like he wants to go for the Rev. I don't know if he knows if the Rev is Condi. I gotta back out of that big AoE damage. Oof, I gotta be a little careful here. Alex is trying to pin me down. Koto's getting a little low. I'm gonna try to get the Binding Blade on both of them. I did get the Binding Blade. I gotta be very careful in that AoE. I gotta pop my renewed focus. I don't have much of a choice. He is getting really low. I got him with the blind on the bind. Oh, we're both getting really low. There's a down. I gotta try to create a little bit of distance here. He might be going for oh, he's going for the res. We ended up getting the down. That's really good news for us. Alex is in a little bit of a sticky situation, but it is a best of 3, so you are able to adjust to your opponent if you so choose. There is no rules on changing your build. You can change to any spec you'd like. There's no regulations on that. I got to be really careful here. Alex is still pretty dangerous. He's got a lot of symbols that he can drop down. Koto's doing a really good job of keeping the pressure on him. Alex is maintaining for quite a bit. He's doing a really good job, but he's getting really low. I'm going to let him just chase. I got to be careful, though. I don't want to get caught here. Yes, we ended up getting the first win. Good job by us. Oh, look at this, guys. I'll show you the replay. He's getting really low. I'm going to let him just chase. I got to be careful. There's a replay of the down that we did. I don't want to get caught here. Yes, we ended up getting the first win. Cool. Good job by us. Sorry I can't shoutcast this too much. I am in the process of playing. And also keep in mind, guys, at about 11:30 my game is gonna crash. It's gonna crash for about 45 seconds, so don't be worried. Just come right back in. It's my ISP provider that's being a little funky. I contacted Guild Wars. I went through their support system, and their guys responded really quick. It was almost like I was text messaging. That's how quick they were, so kudos to them. They said it was nothing on their end. I called my ISP guys. They did everything they could, and they said, you know what, we're just going to send you a brand new modem. I did get the modem today, but the postman, I wasn't here for the postman, so I have to go back tomorrow. So tomorrow I shouldn't get any more of these laggy issues. And once again, guys, thank you so much for joining. I really do appreciate it. You guys coming to spectate makes it more interesting for me, and it makes it more interesting for the players knowing they actually have a crowd out there. So thank you so much, guys. Here we go into game 2. We did a really good job of focusing on the Rev. I just got to keep poking in and out, and they're going to come at me really, really hard. I'll let you take a quick look at my build, actually. But next round, when I am able to shoutcast, I'll show you their builds, what they're running, and I'll be able to shoutcast it with you. So here we go. We're going to focus on the Condi Rev. I'm going to try to get my Ray of Judgment, and then use my judges, my Virtue of Justice to kind of choose. There's the Ray of Judgment. Now I can kind of choose when I want to bind. I'll bind right there. As you can see, he got stuck. Trying to get the heavy cleave, but I got to stay out of that AoE. That was a beautiful move by them. Bo is getting really low. I got the Binding Blade. Both of them are down. He's got his little glint heal up. We ended up getting that. That was pretty good. Not too bad. Really good job by Koto on that one. There we go. I'm going to show you the replay of the last little match here. Now I'm going to send Condi Rev. We ended up getting that. That was pretty good. Not too bad. Really good job by Koto on that one. To him. And this runs like the AT, guys. There we go. This works like the AT, so just for joining, you get an automatic 5 gold. Here we go. We're looking at our next match. Our next match is actually going to be Goran and Dabs versus Zaki and Hannibal. So our next match is Goran and Dabs versus Zaki and Hannibal. That's actually Kodo and Mike that move on into the quarterfinals. So next match, we're going to wait for these good gentlemen to enter into the arena. Let's go back to the match. His little glint heel up. We ended up getting that right into match chat, so they know. Really good job by Kodo on that one. Hannibal versus Goran / Dabs. There we go. So there's Zaki right there. So now that I know that Zaki's in there, he's probably with his partner as well. So I know that. Let's take a quick look at this. Can you guys hear me? Or am I muted? I believe you guys can hear me. So let's take a quick look at Zaki over here, what he's running, guys. He's running with a staff. Oh, so he's going full support on this one. He's got staff, mace, and shield. He's running with Rune of the Monk and Bender. Let's take over here. He's got Valor, Honor, and Firebrand. Let's take a look at Penki Mist. This is Dabs. He's got Chaos, Inspiration, and Mirage. He's running with the Demolisher and Rune of the Strength. He's got Sword and Pistol. Give him a second. Okay, we're going to give Hannibal a little bit of a second to come in. And he's also running with Greatsword. He's going high damage. Iron's Wolf, this is Goran. He's running with Axe, Shield, Dagger, and Warhorn. He's also got Rune of the Scholar with Demolisher. He's running with Tactics and Tactics Spellbreaker. Usually you see Tactics with a Core Warrior, but he's trying it with Spellbreaker. And as well, guys, I've created a 1v1 tournament website for 1v1s, 2v2s, and Fashion Wars. If you'd like to see it, it's right here. What I'll do, my seasons correlate with the seasons of Guild Wars 2. This first season was just a beta season, so you can see the roster over here. This is the roster that we have, and I marked down everybody's wins and losses. So let's take a quick look at Artemis Flame over here. For last season, or the season that just ended, because it correlates, like I mentioned, with the Guild Wars 2 season, she ended up playing 24 games. She had 6 losses and 18 wins, a total of 23 points. Number of points scored per game. You can see her win rate, total points scored the season, highest scored in a tourney, and total points in history. She has a little bit of interesting info, enjoys long walks in the parks, hates to shop. So this is just something I'm trying to create for you guys. We also have the leaderboards over here. I'm not sure why I can't click it. Let's go back to the home and check out the leaderboards really quick. So you can see our leaderboards from last season. Oh, here we go. We also have, he just entered back in, so let's take a quick look at getting that. That was pretty good. Running Blood Magic, really good job by Kodo on that one. Very interesting. They're going back with the old Scourge. Sorry, guys. They're going back with the old Scourge Firebrand combo, and it's not as suppressive anymore. He's going with Sage Amulet, Rune of the Nightmare, Scepter, and Warhorn with Staff, and we already saw his build here. So they just have to ready up when they're ready. And it's going to take a little longer for them to ready up, considering that it is a 2v2 and they're going to try to counter on their enemy as much as they can. And as I mentioned, you can change your build as much as you want. The only rules are no Condi Mirage, and you have to stay with the class that you started with. So if you're on Guardian, you have to stay Guardian, but you can go Firebrand, you can go Core, and you can go Dragon Hunter. We're going to watch Zaki on this one for... actually, I want to watch Penki Mints. Good to see how he deals with this. There's a lot of support that's going to be coming out, and the high damage is going to be a little bit vulnerable for him. They were already starting with the big chill on him. Gets the big pull coming out from the Guardian. The Warrior is trying to take the brunt of the damage, and this gives Penki Misk a little bit of time to kind of set up Warrior's burst. They're not able to really focus on anyone really quick. Penki goes right into stealth already. Looks like he's trying to get that damage. Goran doesn't go into Rampage. Is Goran in Rampage? Let me take a look. Yeah, he has Rampage. And Rampage is a really good use to use because it gets him to use a lot of his cooldowns. Even if he's not able to put damage, as soon as he comes out of Rampage, he's able to get it. Now they've both kind of separated. Penki Minsk is at the top. The Necro actually ports back to his Firebrand, which is a really good move. He's trying to bait Penki to use a lot of his cooldowns. Really good match so far. We're going about halfway through. Ainz is getting really low over here. Now they're trying to focus on to Throw Demon as much as he can. He separated him from the Firebrand a little bit, but now they've reconvened back on the ramp. Penki's in a little bit of trouble. He's starting to get focused a bit, but so is Throw Demon. Really good recovery coming from Zaki, doing a great job of resustaining on his core, on his Necro, excuse me. Throw Demon is still getting low. He's going through a lot of his cooldowns. They're focusing him really hard. Good job by Penky and Wolf. And Penky's doing a really good job of engaging and then backing off, making sure he doesn't get too focused. Now they're turning the focus onto Ainz, who's in big trouble. He does use his Signet for that resistance on the Condi. He's got a shield wall up. He's trying to create a little bit of distance, but he doesn't have the Signet, so he's not going to be able to heal very much. This doesn't look good. He actually ends up going down. Penky's not going to be able to keep the pressure onto him. He gets that big push. He's trying to go for the res. This is pretty dangerous, but if he gets it, it's going to be clutch. He's at 80%. He's trying to get it res. Penky's taking a lot of damage now. The Condis are still up. He might go for the vengeance. He ends up getting the stomp. Now Penky's all on his own right here. Let's take a quick look at that last little bit there. If you look in the top right corner, trying to go for the res. This is pretty dangerous. But if he gets it, it's going to be clutch. He's at 80%. He's trying to get it res. Penky's taking a lot of damage now. The Condis are still up. He might go for the vengeance. He ends up getting the stomp. Now Penky's all on his own right here. He does end up going down. That last Zaki and Throw Demon that take game 1. There is a second match. This is a best of 3. Why no Condi Mirage Kodo? Because it was very suppressive. It was not very fun to watch, and it was not very fun. Mike on the replay, just mute it. Oh, it actually plays the sound from the... Oh, okay, I didn't know that. So I'll mute it really quick when I do the replay. I didn't know it plays the sound as well. I didn't know that. That's stupid. This is the first time I used the replay system. I was trying to find something to do the replay, but I didn't know that it replays my volume as well. Maybe I'll do a little bit of tweaking on that. So let's see if Ainz Wolf made any changes to his build. I don't believe he did. Rune of the Soldier with Demolisher. But he does have a lot of Condi clear. He does have the extra resistance from Featherfoot Grace. He does have the resistance coming from Healing Signet. That's how he was able to sustain for so long. But after when his cooldowns came down, he just didn't have enough to keep up. It was definitely a really good match. There was a lot of back and forth. I don't know if I can mute the replay. I doubt I can mute the replay. Let me take a quick look, actually. I don't want to mess around with it right now. Maybe I just won't do any replays for today. If I do see some epic replays, what I'll try to do is click the replay and then just mute everything entirely. So we're just waiting for Hannibal to come back in. Let's take a quick look at Penky over here. I don't believe he's made any major changes. As I mentioned, guys, you can change whatever you like, and I'll probably take this time to shamelessly promote, guys. If you like this type of content, I do it every single day. A 1v1, 2v2, Fashion Wars. On Saturdays, it's Viewer's Choice, and Sundays is usually 5v5 open houses. So it's just at the end of the week, I like to bring everybody together, and we just play as a big community. We switch teams, we change captains. It's a really, really fun time. They usually last about 3-4 hours. And as well, we did our cosplay Fashion Wars yesterday. That was really good. So if you like this type of stuff, guys, click that follow, click that subscribe, support your content creator. I'd really appreciate it, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're just waiting for Hannibal to come back up. Let's take a quick look at the brackets while we wait, guys. So right after Goran and Dabs and Saki and Hannibal, we're going to be having Master Slayer and Afton versus Bow User and Control Freak. And as I mentioned, we're going to be using this first round as our roster check. So there might be people who don't show up. So we're going to give them 2 minutes to show. And if they don't show, we're going to end up just giving the other team the bye, or whichever team that does show up. But if he gets it, it's going to be clutch. He's at 80%. He's trying to get it rest. Penky's taking a lot of damage now. The Condis are still up. He might go for the vengeance. He ends up getting the stomp. Now Penky's all on his own right here. Let's take a quick look at that last. Doesn't do the mute, I don't believe. We're done with that. I don't know how to mute the replay. Oh, maybe I can mute the replay. Instant replay. Speed. Show nothing. Use hardware. Restart playback. Loop. Ah, damn it. Okay, guys, here we go into game 2. We're going to be watching Throw Demon for this one to see how... Actually, I'm going to be watching Zaki and see how he supports his Scourge really well. And we've all thought that this combo was not as strong anymore. And that's a really good patch that ANET made. They did make these guys a little less powerful, so they're a little easier to take on. He tries to go for the Whirling Wind right away. It looks like they're focusing on Throw Demon right away, trying to get some big pressure on him. He drops that big a lot of whales down. They got to be careful. I believe that was the ghastly breach that he did pop. No, he didn't pop the ghastly breach. Just a bunch of whales. Penky's getting in a little bit of trouble. Good job disengaging from that fight. And same with Goran. They're kind of waiting, getting him to use a lot of his cooldowns. Penky's in a little bit of trouble, but he has a lot of mobility, and it's easier for him to get away. Big fear coming up from Throw Demon. Looks like he's going to go down. He does end up going down. Goran goes into the rampage. Zacky's going for the stomp. Penky actually teleports away from the stomp. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to do much. He goes for the big stomp. He does end up getting it on him. Goran's all by himself at this moment. Ooh, this is going to be tough for him. It doesn't look like he's going to get it, and he knows it's going to be finished for him. They're both trying to double team on him. Now let me just... Oh, no, I'm not going to play the replay, guys, because it's probably pretty annoying with the sound. And as I mentioned, we're doing the AT reward system. So just for these two participants participating, they get 5 gold. If you make it to the quarterfinals, you get 10 gold each. If you make it to the semifinals, you get 15 gold each. And then the second place gets 20 gold and first place gets 25 gold. Now they're really starting to put the pressure on Goran. He's not much he can do. There's just too much sustain and too much Condi. He is a tactics warrior, which does have a lot of mitigation for Condi, but it's not going to be too much. He's not going to be able to survive this much longer. If he does make it to the timer, maybe he'll have a chance. Nope, that's it. Throw Demon and Zaki make it. So I'm going to be sending 5 gold to Goran for participating, and as well 5 gold to Penky Misk for participating. Alright guys, let's take a look at our bracket one more time. Our next match coming up is Master Slayer and Afton versus Control Freak and Bow User. Let me just write it in the map chat. Master Afton versus Control Bow User. I'm sure there's a way to mute that replay system. Pretty dangerous, but if he gets it, it's going to be clutch. He's at 80%. He's trying to get it rest. Penky's taking a lot of damage now. The Condis are still up. He might go for the vengeance. He ends up getting the stomp. Now Penky's all on his own right here. Let's take a quick look at that last donations here. If you guys do want to donate in the future, try thinking about Mystic Coins, because my mail is going to get really full here. Oh, Goran sent back the mail. Thank you so much, Goran. I really do appreciate that. So they are both here, really good. So far the tourney is flowing incredibly well, and this is what I mentioned. With people start to know that I do these often, they take them seriously and they don't fuck around too much. So I really appreciate all the participants just getting into this and flowing really well. So let's take a quick look at him. This is the core warrior that you usually see. Nope, sorry, Spellbreaker, my bad. He's running Spellbreaker, Discipline, and Strength. Over here he's got Axe with Shield. Hey, thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate that follow. Oh, the host. Thank you, Shazbot, for the host. Thank you, man. And welcome from Shazbot's stream, guys. We're just in the middle of a 2v2 tournament. He's running with Axe, Shield, and Greatsword. He's got over here Reaper with the Demolisher Amulet. Let's take a look at Corbini over here. He's running Axe, Shield with Staff. He's got the Rune of the Traveler with the Mender Amulet. Let's take a quick look at Easily Replaced over here. He's running with Staff, Sword, and Shield. He looks like he's got Rune of the Flock with Mender and Packaged Salt. I like that name. Scepter, Dagger with Staff, Rune of the Nightmare, and Deadshot. He's got Curses, Soul Reaping, and Spite. Let me just make sure these are the guys that I want. That is Corbini. Let's see this guy. That is Afton. Here we go over here. This is Bow User. And this is Control Freak. Beautiful. This is a very strong team. These are one of the guys you're going to be able to look for. You see the new content on Arc? No, I did not. PC. So here we go into game one of, this is our third match in our tournament, guys. We have about 16 teams in this tournament. Very, very large. That's 32 players so far. Already engaging really hard, but Easily is being very cautious. He's backing right up. He's trying to get them to burst a little cooldowns. Let's see who the red team starts to focus on this. They got the Warrior and Corbini over here. They're both kind of just backing off, using their range to the perfect advantage. They're not going through any cooldowns. He's just dropping a couple welds, putting some heavy pressure on Sasky. Saxy's trying to get the pressure back onto Package. He goes right into his Reaper form. Oof, nice big pull coming out from him. They're keeping the pressure onto the Necro as much as they can. Really good job. Easily replaced. They're both, red team is doing an impressive job so far. A lot of symbols have been dropped. Good resustain coming out from blue team. It looks like they're going to be focusing on Corbini as much as they can, but Corbini wisely understands that they're focusing. He backs off. Great shield of absorption coming out from Easily Replaced, creating a little bit of distance and taking the pressure off his Reaper. Red team, Corbini is again the target of their focus. Now he's actually separated. This is a perfect 2v1 that's happening right now. This is exactly what they wanted. Corbini comes in, and that was perfectly placed by the blue team, separating the warrior from Corbini and being able to fully put the pressure down onto him, getting the down onto Stasky. And now that's game one coming out from Easily Replaced and Packaged Salt. Really good job on that one. Sorry about that, guys. I'm just whispering one of the gentlemen. And once again, great job from the participants. This is our third match so far, and it's flowing really, really well. Everybody's coming in as soon as they're called up. So I really thank you. And once again, thank you so much for the viewers. I really do appreciate it. It makes it more exciting for me, and it makes it more exciting for the participants, having a crowd. I hope I'm doing a good job shoutcasting this for you. So here we go, Easily Replaced and Packaged Salt. Let's take a quick look at Corbini to see if he made any changes. This is the type, oh, he's actually going more supporting. Okay, I thought he was going more damaging. But he is more support, my mistake. And Sasky is still running on Spellbreaker. Also, guys, like I mentioned, we do, I'll go right back to it really quick. We do have a tournament that we do, and they correlate with the Guild Wars 2 ranked season. So this, for last season, these are our 1v1 leaders, and these are our 2v2 leaders. So as you can see, I've put everything on the challengebracket.com, so I'll be able to know how many wins you get, how many losses you get. So if we look over here on the roster, we can take a look at, let's say, Dark Opium, for instance. These are how many matches he actually played last season, 41. He had 13 games lost with 28 wins. And this is what this isn't still in the beta season, but what I'm going to do for the next season that's coming up, we're actually going to have a finals at the end of the season. It's going to be 1,000 gold for top place, 500 for second place, and it's going to be 250 for third place. So the action is about to start.
But if he gets it, it's going to be clutch. He's at 80%. He's trying to get it pressed. Pinky's taking a lot of damage now. The Condis are still up. He might go for the vengeance. He ends up getting the stop. Now Pinky's all on his own right here. Let's take a quick look at that last.
Anything in the form of ranged projectile, so they're going to have to close that gap really quickly. Packaged and Easily really were able to get a lot of extra pressure at the beginning without sustaining any damage and being very cautious on their cooldowns. So here you go, Sasky standing right in the open. He actually takes that big mark. He's got to be careful. They're very susceptible to Condis. He doesn't have much in the way of Condi clear except from the Shake It Off and his Signet. So right now they're he's separated again, and that's okay. Sasky can't take a lot of the brunt of the damage. He's got to be careful, but he does need Corbini to come in and help put the pressure. Oof, that's very unfortunate. He actually whirlwinds right off the top, so he loses a lot of that pressure that he can put down. He does have the rampage that he can use. Packaged Salt is getting really low. They end up getting the down. Great pushback from the Shield of Absorption from Easily Replaced, and he gets the clutch res back on Packaged Salt. That was a very impressive play, but that could have been their moment of opportunity that they just lost. Packaged Salt doesn't have much left to reperform. Again, he gets feared up top. And Packaged Salt actually ports down to him, creating the 1v1 on both sides. Corbini's left by himself to face two of them. Again, they refocus on Packaged Salt. Corbini's, Easily Replaced has got to make sure they keep him up. They're doing a lot of pressure. He tries to get the arcing slice. He doesn't catch it. Packaged Salt once again goes into Reaper form, but they're just chewing through that Reaper Shroud. Oof, and Corbini gets stuck by himself. He goes into the Rampage. He's trying to get the cleave down. Easily Replaced is going to get the stomp here. Ooh, big stomp coming out. That was very impressive coming out from Sasky. They almost had that. That was very, very close, but that was a clutch Shield of Absorption coming out from Easily Replaced, pushing both opponents off the top tier, and they actually end up taking this. We're going to watch the end of this. Sasky can still win it. There's 15 seconds left in the map mechanic, and as I mentioned, after the map mechanic, there is 0 healing, and there's AoE that comes from the outside. Let me just back up really quick so I can show you guys. Hopefully we'll be able to see it. You're going to see an AoE from the center that does not move, and there's an AoE from the outside. As you can see, here it comes. It's going to start to encroach on the entire map, and eventually, if it's not finished, they will consume the entire surface of the area. Now Easily Replaced going for the stomp, and that's going to be 2 games winning, one by Easily Replaced and Control Freak. So let's take a quick look at our brackets over here. So there's actually Bow User and Control Freak that move forward, guys. Our next match is going to be Shibby and Krabbin versus Sergeant Gemini and Lighter. So Shibby and Krabbin and Sergeant Gemini is our next match. Oh, let me just mail these guys really quick. Ah, damn it. Here, let's go back to the match.
Trying to go for the rest. This is pretty dangerous.
Where are you,
but if he gets it, it's going to be clutch. He's at 80%. He's trying to get it rest. Penke's taking a lot of damage now. The Condies are still up. He might go for the vengeance. He ends up getting the stop. Now Penke's all on his own right here. Let's take a quick look at that last. It doesn't matter which team you choose, gentlemen, so you can go on any side. Where are you, Corbini? Let me see if he's there. Corbini, if you can, message me so I can send you your 5 gold, sir. That was a very impressive match. So next up, as I mentioned, guys, is going to be Shibby and Krabbin. Whoops, what did I just do there? Okay, perfect. I gotta write it out in map chat. Shibby and Krabbin versus Sergeant, Gemini, Lighter. Once again, guys, thank you so much for coming out to watch. I really do appreciate it. If you like this type of content, I do it every single day. Click that follow, click that subscribe to see when I go live. So here we are, Valor, Virtues, and and Dragon Hunter. I don't see Dragon Hunters very frequently in my tournaments. He's running with Longbow, Sword, and Shield. He's running with Rune of the Lynx and Marauder. Let's take a quick look at George over here. He's running Core Warrior. He's probably going to be running the Tactics. No, he's going full Core Warrior. He's running with Strength, Discipline, and Defense. He's got Axe and Shield with Great Sword, Rune of the Eagle, and Demolisher. Let's take a quick look at Indigo Thicket on this side. He's running with Sword, Shield, with Rune of Resistance, and Demolisher. And now we've got King of Prideful, who's running, Fire Weaver. I haven't seen them too frequently in my tourneys, and when I first started doing my tourneys, I saw a lot of Fire Weavers, but as of late, in the past 3 weeks, I haven't seen very much. So he's running with Focus and Sword. He's also got Balthazar and Sage Amulet. He's running with Fire, Arcane, and Weaver. And once again, I want to give a big ups to all the participants. You guys are flowing really, really well. There's over 30 participants in this tournament. The server can only hold 25, so that's kudos to you guys. They're just going one after the other. No problem, Afton. If you can, let me know where Corbini is. I owe him 5 gold. So Corbini, if you're listening, let me type in that chat. Corbini, please whisper me. And as I mentioned, guys, we used to do top 3 only get gold, but I've realized from a lot of people, they say, you know what, I like doing your tourneys, but I never win anything, and it kind of gets a little demoralizing. So I've switched it over to AT style. So if you're in the first round, you get 5 gold automatically. If you make it to the quarterfinals, you get 10 gold automatically. If you make it to the semifinals, you get 15 gold automatically, 20 gold for second place, and 25 gold to third place. So once again, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this stuff, click that follow, click that subscribe. I'm going to be watching King of Prideful for this one. He did really good in my last tournament. We did a 1v1 on Wednesday, I believe. You can look in my highlights videos. I post everything in there, and every single day I do one sort of event, either 1v1, 2v2, or a Fashion Wars. So here we go. Corbini's trying to get the big engage. Indigo stays sitting a little back. I believe he was using a Prod Hollow. No, he's going with, Prod Hollow. So he's got a lot more sustain. This is actually going to be really good. They're both focusing on to Demoth, which is probably a really good target. As soon as he goes through most of his cooldowns, he's going to be pretty squishy. He's already used, big damage coming onto Corbini. I'm into Indigo Thicket. He tries to get that big arcing slice. He tries to drop the Hard Light Arena. He gets baby gated over there. Sergeant Gemini's in big trouble here. They're able to get the down. No, he's just surviving on the skin of his teeth. He drops the Hard Light Arena. Corbini, Demos is down. Indigo Thicket does survive. Oh my goodness, now they're both down. He gets the cleave, and Sergeant Gemini is able to revive. Great sustain coming out from Indigo Thicket, really surviving under that hard pressure from both of those targets. George and the Dragon Hunter really putting that hard cleave onto him. Now they're both trying to chase up on George. Really good match so far. Tries to get that big burst. And now the Prod Hollow can really resustain. George is just trying to run away. If he can maintain until the end of the map mechanic, he ends up going into, he ends up overcharging or overheating. That could be very dangerous. Smart job by Sergeant Gemini going into his elite and just pew-pewing from far, trying to keep that distance. George is getting really low, and King Demon is just keeping on to him. He tries to get that Prismatic Singularity, and down goes George. That was a really good match. Corbini, Master Slayer, yes. You just messaged me. There you are. I owe you. Hey, let me add you as friend, sir. Add as friend. Corbini, send mail. That's 5 gold for you. I think I sent you. Maybe let me know if I sent that. I don't know if I did. The map just swapped.
So here we go into the game 2. That was a really good match. Let me know if Corb, if you got that 5 gold, my friend. If you didn't, I'll resend. Sweet. I'm really glad you got that. As I mentioned, guys, I changed the prize pool, the way I give out prizes, just so everybody gets something. And I always make them 2 hours before or 2 hours after an AT, so you can do the AT, get your gold, come into my tournaments, and get some more gold. And as well, you get to be in front of a crowd, and as well, I record all my videos, so at the end of this, I'm going to put it into my highlights, and you can actually look at the highlights videos later on, and kind of go through, see where you messed up, see where you can make some changes. Looking at yourself in a third perspective while you play is really a big eye-opener, especially for me. When I was watching it, I was like, wow, what kind of mistakes was I making there? But it's really good. And as well, you can also use this as like a scouting process. You can kind of see who you want to play with, see who the strong guys are. And if you want to make a monthly AT team, as I mentioned, the monthly is back and it's going to be tomorrow. So you can kind of start going through these, filtering through these, and see who the active guys are, who you see very often in the 1v1s, who's really strong and gets to the end. It's really good for scouting. Ooh, I really like George's shield. Hey, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. The news. Thank you so much for the follow, guys. Every time you click that follow, it just encourages me to keep going harder and harder and harder. So I thank you so much for that, guys. I'm trying to make it up to 600 followers, and I'm also trying to get up to 20 subs. So if you guys have that Twitch Prime and you feel like giving me a sub, help me help you, buddy. Thank you so much either way for watching, guys. I really do fucking appreciate it. Thank you. So we're just waiting for the gentleman to ready up. Let's see if George made any changes. I don't think they have to make any changes. They did a really good job focusing their targets. And Indigo Thicket, oof, boy, surviving on the skin of his teeth, just barely making it out of there, and King just keeping the pressure. And as I mentioned, it's a fire weaver, so it's, if you're not very attentive on your condies, or you're not watching your condies, he can stack those condies up really quickly. 8 or 9 stacks of burning. Before you know it, you've already chunked your health down to about 10%. And I also blocked the map chat, guys, because this is a competition and a lot of people like to shit talk, but I'm PMA all in here. I try to be PMA as much as I can, so I let those guys shit talk as much as they want in there. When it gets a little out of hand, then I'll interfere, but competitions always need a little bit of shit talk, in my opinion. So here we go. I'm just waiting for these gentlemen to ready up, and here we go into game 2. This is going to be clutch time for George and Demoth. Here we go, guys. Also, if you look below here, I'll post it inside here. If you could, guys, join the Discord. This is the 1v1 tournament Discord. I post all my events in there, so you'll be able to know when I'm doing them. And I'd really appreciate if you joined up. I'm just trying to make a big squad and trying to get that populated as much as I can. So feel free to join at your own free will. Right now, they're going right on Depot. They've actually separated, so he's got a 2v1 for a couple seconds. Here you go. This is huge right now. Demoth is taking a lot of damage. He's not being able to get away. He uses his renewed focus, but even when he comes out of renewed, that's good job by Indigo Thicket keeping the heavy pressure. And that's what I mean by creating that separation. He goes into Rampage. He's going to try to get the res, but he's not able to. Good job by Indigo, dropping that hard light arena right on top of the opponent. They end up getting separated, and that's George that ends up going down. So let me send him his 5 gold. 5 gold for you, sir. Thank you so much. Let me send Demos. 5 gold for you, sir. Thank you so much for joining. I really do appreciate it. Alright, guys, let's take a look at our next match coming up. That was actually Sergeant Gemini and Lighter that moved forward into the quarterfinals. Our next matchup is going to be Enlil and Duchess versus Shiro and EMF. So it's Enlil and Duchess versus Shiro and EMF. Let's go back to the match. For the rest, this is I would use the replay, but if he gets it, it's going to be clutch. He's at 80%. He's trying to get it rest. Penke's taking a lot of damage now. The condies are still up. He might go for the vengeance. He ends up getting the stomp. Now Penke's all on his own right here. Let's take a quick look at that last. That was my short-term memory is shot, guys. Enlil and Duchess versus Enlil Duchess. Let's see who this is. That is EMF. So I know that EMF's here. I know Shiro is here. We haven't had anybody that hasn't showed up so far. I know Anla did sign up, and he's usually inside the Twitch chat. Yes, give us a second. Okay, perfect. So there's Anki-sama. He's going to be entering. So we know we have them both here, guys. As I mentioned, also, guys, I really like supporting our local streamers and anybody in Guild Wars 2. I'm just trying to make everything a lot bigger. So if you look over here, I'm going to post it in the chat. If you type in ! streamers, these are all the streamers I highly suggest that you take a look at and try to support them as much as you can. I am missing some people. I'm sure I'm missing some people in there, but these are the guys that I watch quite frequently, and they're all very funny and they're all very good, and they give out a lot of good information. So I highly suggest you look at that. And I also take a look at Teapot's stream. He's actually making a movement, guys. You got to try to support him. He's trying to make Guild Wars 2 good again. Well, not good because it's already really good, but he's going to be really pushing hard on the Guild Wars 2. He's going to be nothing but PMA, and he's really going to try to push. I'm doing a lot of the NA stuff, doing a lot of the PvP stuff. He's on EU. He might be coming to NA for a bit just to try to do a couple of events like raids or dungeon events. So if you can, give him a follow as well. Teapot is really huge. He's one of the big guys. Him and Wood and Potatoes are probably the two main supporters, and really now Teapot is really trying to really trying to be like pro Guild Wars 2 now. So I'm really excited to see what he's able to create. So let's take a quick look at Zokrix over here. He's running your classic tools hollow rifle with Rune of the Resistance and Demolisher. Let's take a quick look at Sora over here. Yeah, Sora is actually a really good Deadeye. He's running Marauder with Rune of the Scholar, sword and pistol with his rifle on this side, Shadow Arts, Trickery, and Deadeye. Let's take a quick look at here, Nosferatu Zod. He's running your regular Spellbreaker. He's running Mace Sword. Ooh, very interesting. Not your regular Spellbreaker. Dagger and Shield with Dagger Shield, excuse me, with a Mace Sword. Rune of Vampirism with Barbarian. Very interesting build that he's got coming out over here. Defense, Strength, and Spellbreaker. A lot of interesting utility as well. Let's take a look at Rosalie over here, running Skirmishing, Wilderness, and Soul Beast. Very interesting. He's got Rune of the Trapper with Carrion, Longbow, Axe. I'm going to be watching Nos for this one, actually. I'd like to see where this ends up going. And here we go into Game 1. Sorry guys, taking a sip of my drink. Thanks again for watching, guys. Fucking awesome. Thank you for all the support as well. Here we go. I'm going to be watching Nos on this when he's going in full ham. Using that block a little preemptive. He did have the LOS there. He's actually reflects the really good reflect over there. He's standing in front of the prime light beam or the photon wall. He's just face tanking that damage and just trying to cleave as hard as he can. There's Suro focusing on Rosalie, and that's what he's got to be careful for. Suro's big damage. He's able to get that big stun, big prime light beam coming out onto Nosferatu. He's in a little bit of trouble here. Tries to get that big breaching strike. Not the breaching strike, but the skull crack. Ends up going down. That's Game 1. That goes to Zokrix and Soro Dragonfall. This team, Soro and Zokrix, are one to be watching. Definitely to keep an eye on. So here we go into Game 2, guys. Let's take a quick look at the bracket one more time so we know who's coming up after this. And so far, so good, man. We've had 16 teams in this. That's 32 players so far, and we haven't had any stumbles. Everything's been flowing really well. Our next one is going to be a pretty good one. Timothy and Joker versus Laura and Luxlayer. Then we have Nano's team. I don't know if Nano's here. He might be one of the teams that we don't see that end up joining, but it's going to be Nano's team. Oh, what did I... Yeah, okay. Sorry, guys. I ended up messing up the bracket slightly over there. I put Timothy and Joker twice. So I think someone's going to get a bye. No, there's Enlil and Duchess. Did I miss Enlil and Duchess? I got to figure out who I messed up over there. But we will get back to that. But if he gets it, it's going to be clutch. He's at 80%. He's trying to get it rest. Penke's taking a lot of damage now. The Connies are still up. He might go for the Vengeance. He ends up getting the stomp. Now Penke's all on his own right here. Let's take a quick look at that last... So here we go. Suro is very quick. He's going to go into that stealth really quickly. There he goes right into that stealth, looking for his target right away. He's probably going to focus that Druid once again. Oof. Puts up the big wins. Getting that big cleave on the Druid. On the Soul Beast, excuse me. The Soul Beast is taking a lot of damage. He's not able to peel for him. He ends up going down. They're not able to get any heavy cleave, but Suro's getting really low as well.
Good job by the warrior on that one. Just trying to get that extra cleave, and Soro is just cleaving him all the way down to the ground. He ends up dropping, but Zorix is still really low. Nosferatu is not going to be able to get that. He ends up going down, so let me send him his 5 gold. Oh, that is on Lil. Okay, perfect. So let me send that gold to him. Except Rosita, let me send his gold. And I got to figure out who that was here, guys. That's Shiro and EMF that move forward. I did fuck up in the bracket somewhere. I just don't know where. Oh no, I didn't mess up. It was just actually someone I was supposed to remove. So Isaac and Kangaroo are going to end up getting the bye in the end, guys. So Isaac and Kangaroo, you guys are getting a bye because I added Joker and Timothy twice. So next up is Laura and Luxlayer versus, let me just, Laura and Luxlayer versus Timothy and Joker. Oh, they're already in there. Perfect. And this is fucking awesome, guys. Big ups to the participants. Once again, I can't thank you guys enough. These are very, very, very difficult to organize and keep the action flowing. And by you guys doing this, it makes my job so much easier. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's take a quick look. This is another strong team, Laura and Luxlayer. These guys are one of the ones to watch out for. Mace, the semifinals, quarterfinals are gonna be good. I guarantee that. So we got Mace and Shield with Staff. He's running over here. Rune of the Monk and Mender. We got Valor, Honor, and Firebrand. Let's take a quick look at Laura over here. Joker's up. Joker, you're up. Let's take a quick look at Laura on this side. She's running a Core Necro, and we've been seeing Core Necro quite frequently. They're very, very, very strong. And as I mentioned, as soon as they made that nerf to Scourge, it really opened up the avenue for a lot of different combos, a lot of different teams, and that was a great patch, I think, in my eyes. PvP is really starting to go on a good direction, in my opinion. The balance is really starting to get there, or it's starting to get somewhere where we can actually be very entertaining and it's not so suppressive. What's up, Soul? I'm not sure where Joker is. If he's not here, I'm going to end up using Soul. Oh yeah, he is. You're up. He is inside there, so I'm just waiting for him to enter. He might be being very cheeky and looking at their builds before he enters. I'm not entirely sure. Curses with Soul Reaping and Spite. Let's take a look at their weapons here. He's running Main Hand Scepter and Warhorn with Staff. He's got Rune of the Lynx with Celestial Amulet. Very interesting. I'm just waiting for Atropos. If he's not there, I'm going to be using... Should be. Give me a minute, guys. I'm just trying to figure out where Joker is. If he doesn't end up entering, I'm going to use Soul as my substitute. I'm going to give him a minute or two to enter. And as I mentioned, guys, I have made a 2v2 and a 1v1 season. So if I've even made a website, here, let's take a quick look while we have some time. I can cheesily just promote this while we're doing this, waiting for Joker. So this is the 2v2 system that I've actually made. If you can see it, I've called the season Code Red Revival because Guild Wars 2 is in Code Red and we're trying to revive it. So we have our leaderboards over here. These are our leaderboards from last season, our 2v2 leaders and our 1v1 leaders. This is just a beta, so I wasn't giving any awards for this one. It was just a check. We also have a roster. If you look over here, this is the roster. I only mark the top 15 people. So the top 15. Okay, enter. Red, please. I don't know where Joker is. He is in here. But we have our substitute. Soul is going in for him, so we're just going to go right into the action. Joker's not here, so I'm going to remove him. But if he gets it, it's going to be clutch. He's at 80%. He's trying to get it rest. Penke's taking a lot of damage now. The Condis are still up. He might go for the vengeance. He ends up getting the stop. Now Penke's all on his own right here. Let's take a quick look at that running with the sword. This is your typical Revenant Invocation build. Sword with Staff. He's running Rune of Strength and Demolisher, Invocation, Devastation, and a Herald. We'll let them know to ready up when ready.
And this is not too bad, all things considered, with the amount of participants that we've had. And this is their first major stall, and that was from Joker. He's a little bit funny sometimes. He doesn't like to be... he's very specific on who he plays with. So he's probably being a little cautious. Here we go. Game 1 is finally starting. Thank you so much for everybody being a little patient with me. And as I mentioned, guys, my game might crash because I'm having issues with my ISP. So you might see it just stall. So it'll glitch for about 45 seconds. But just be a little patient. I'm going to log back in and the stream will come back up. But I'm expecting it to glitch in the next 5 minutes. I'm guaranteeing you it's going to glitch in the next 5 minutes. So don't worry. I haven't cut the stream off. It's just my internet provider that's a little messed up. I got my new modem. I just got to go pick it up tomorrow. So right there, Gray's doing a really good job trying to keep the heavy cleave onto Laura. Laura getting a lot of those condies. And the Revenants are very susceptible to condies. He's got to be able to bait all those condies onto him. Use that glint heal. Perfect job using the glint heal, but he was a little late. He tries to get that shackling wave onto Laura. They're starting to put that heavy pressure onto Laura. Let's see how much Reaper Shroud she does have. She does have a decent amount of Reaper Shroud. Guardian ends up going down. And then we got big CC coming out from Nebo, but they end up getting the down. Luxlayer and Laura end up winning this one. Good job by Laura and Luxlayer. They're ones definitely to watch going on into this tournament. They're definitely very strong. They play often together. Their synergy is really good. And thank you to Soul, Nebo, Gray for entering into the tournament. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to remove Atropos just so I can have other people. Yeah, I do have an effects filter. Is it too much, Deathless? I can remove it if you'd like. Hold on. I'm actually using Guild Wars 2 Hook. I've never used it before. I was actually downloaded it the other day. And I can lower the graphics just a little bit for you guys if it's a little too much. There you go. I lowered it a lot more so you can see all the action and it's not so flashy in your face anymore. I'm actually going to watch Laura for this one. I don't believe they've made any changes. Let's take a quick look at Nebo over here. I don't see any major changes. Let's take a look at the Guardian over here. He's actually running a Condi Guardian, a Condi Dragon Hunter. Very interesting build coming out from the Guardian over here. Big fear coming out from Laura, very clutch, and that completely breaks their entrance, separating them and discombobulating them a bit, and really being able to get that heavy pressure onto Nebo Gray. He's got to get that glint heal up just in the nick of time, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. That Condi stacks are really starting to heal him up again, but the Condi lasts so long. 8 stacks of Torment. Nebo's going to go down from that. Guardian's left all by himself to defend with his own devices. He's in big trouble. Laura's going over there to keep the cleave on top of him. And that's Luxlayer that ends up getting down. Guardian is still alive, dropping a bunch of... Oh, he does get those big symbols down, or those traps to drop. Laura easily mitigating that, just backing up. Range pew-pewing on Guardian. Doesn't look good for Guardian. He ends up going down. So let me send him his 5 gold. Once again, sir, thank you for participating. I do appreciate it. And Nebo Gray, thank you so much, sir, for participating. I really do appreciate that. Alright, guys, let's take a quick look at our brackets here and let's see who we're facing next. So it's actually Luxlayer and Laura that move forward. Now we have Nano's team versus Naru and Laikar. I'm not sure if these guys are here either. Let me just mention it in chat. So it's Naru and Laikar versus Nano's team. These two might not be here, so we might. But if he gets it, it's going to be clutch. He's at 80%. He's trying to get it rest. Penke's taking a lot of damage now. The Condis are still up. He might go for the vengeance. He ends up getting the stomp. Now Penke's all on his own right here. Let's take a quick look at that last. Let's see if they're here, guys. We'll give them a minute or two. Oh, thanks, Nebo. He actually returned the mail that I sent to him. I don't believe I saw Naru in here. I don't believe I saw Laikar in here. This is EMF, I'm not sure. Lux Slayer and I don't know why EMF is in there. I believe EMF is with the Shiro. No, I'm going to remove him, make him spectate. Lux Slayer, who are you with? I'm going to whisper him. Give me 1 second, guys. And these are the type of things that get a little funky, but this is the first round. Laura and Lux Slayer. So, okay, so this is actually going to be a completely scuffed one over here. I may have put in an extra slot, guys, so this one's a little scuffed here. I don't know what to do there. I'll just give them the buy, and then the next round they'll get the buy as well. This one we're going to move right through as well. Here, I'll go to the bracket so you can see what I'm doing as well, guys. This one was scuffed. Sizik and Kangaroo get the buy. And then again, Sizik gets the buy as well again over here. As you can see, Naru and Laikar are here. This was a team that was, Naru did sign up. He wanted to be with someone, but I guess he didn't end up joining. And Sizik and Joker and Timothy is what I added already. So Sizik gets the buy, and then he gets a buy here. So congratulations to you, Sizik and Kangaroo, moving right into the semifinals. But this actually makes it a lot faster now, so we can go all to the teams that have already made it. So next up, we have Kodo and Mike, which is me, versus Zaki and Hannibal. So we're going to have Kodo and Mike versus Zaki and Hannibal.
Go for the rest. This is pretty dangerous. But if he gets it, it's going to be clutch. He's at 80%. He's trying to get it rest. Penke's taking a lot of damage now. The Condis are still up. He might go for the vengeance. He ends up getting the stomp. Now Penke's all on his own right here. Let's take a quick look at that last.
Got to return that to the sender. Let me go back to the match here. Okay, perfect. I'll post the brackets for you guys in the Twitch so you can follow along with me too, so you can see. You don't always have to wait for me to post it. It keeps doing my replay? What do you mean by that? Oh, that's interesting. I just added the replay, so it's kind of something a little new. Sorry, Guardian. Okay, guys, now I'm going to enter. Okay, Laura, thank you. So here we go. It's going to be me and Kodo versus, this is going to be a tough team for us to fight. These are a little difficult to, what is this? What's going on here? Okay. Let's ignore all that stuff. Here we go, guys. I'm not going to say anything because these guys might be in the Twitch chat. They might be listening. So I don't want to give out any information. I'm going to be a little quiet. This is going to be a little interesting for me. I got to be very careful. He does have the Aegis, so I'm going to have to try to proc that first. I'm going to let Kodo go in for the big damage. I'm going to let him bait him out a little bit. He's got a little more sustain than I do. I'm just going to try to LOS. I'm not going to let him get any. Oh, he's going for the no port right away, which is really smart, not letting me engage really hard on him. He does have that Aegis. I have to get that Aegis off first. There we go. He doesn't have the Aegis now. I'm going to port up to him. I got to be careful here. Yeah, I was able to bait him back down, but I got to be careful not to separate too hard from my teammate. I didn't get that Ray of Judgment. Good job on him by dodging that. I just got to get away just a little bit. Very dangerous over here. He's got him really low. Oh, that was our moment of opportunity, and I just flopped on it. I didn't have any target there. This is really bad news for me. Really bad news for me. I just don't have the sustain. And down I go. My little window of opportunity. Zaki was really low. I wasn't able to capitalize on it. Now we have Kodo fighting all by himself here. Sorry, buddy. That's Zaki and Hannibal that actually end up taking that one. Kodo's doing a really good job still, though. Let me put myself in spectate so I can watch this match with you guys. He's trying to get that heavy pressure onto Zaki or throw him, and he's doing a really good job so far, mitigating a lot of the damage. There's 15 seconds left. He ends up dropping down. Oof, very unfortunate. And Soro, every time I do the red thing, it shows me my replay? Every time you do your red grid thing, it keeps doing your replay. Maybe because it's linked with because when I push F9, that's what shows up the replay. So maybe it's just doing that at the same time. Maybe they're both linked and binded together. I'm not sure. Interesting, interesting, interesting. But I'll try to fix that. I've just added replay today, so it's something that I'm just playing with. Yeah, it's super loud. Oh, God. Yeah, that could be annoying. So I won't go switching screens anymore for now. Once I just hammer out all the little kinks and details, we'll go from there. So I won't switch screens. I'll just post the bracket for you guys inside the Twitch chat so you can follow along with me. So here we go into game 2. I'm going to try to go a little more ham on this one. Actually, no, I'm going to just wait a little bit, sit back, be a little patient, wait for him to use a couple of his cooldowns. Yeah, it's super loud. Okay, I gotta definitely fix that, guys. Sorry about that. Can't even target him right now.
I've got the target.
There's the one that I want. Really good fear coming out from him. This is bad news for me. Really good stun. Bad engage by me. I really got cucked on that. Big ghastly breach. Big pressure coming out from him on that one. Just not good enough. What's going on over here? And that's Zaki and Hannibal that move forward. Kodo, you did make it into the quarterfinals, so you get 10 gold, sir. Thank you so much for that. That's going to be a little easier for me to organize this as I'm not in the match anymore, but that's Zaki and Hannibal that may end up moving into the semifinals. Now I'm able to pay attention a little more. So now we have Bow User and Control Freak versus Sergeant Gemini and Lighter. This is our next match coming up, guys. Bow User and Control Freak versus Sergeant Gemini and Lighter. So there we go. They're already entering now. Sergeant Gemini, I'm going to post it in the map so they know. Sergeant Gemini, Lighter versus Bow User and Control Freak. We've already seen these participants, so everybody that's coming into the quarterfinals, we've already seen. So I know they're all here, so it should flow really, really nicely from here on out.